Hey there, ready? It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It's the holiday version of Friday Night Lights with my good friends Willie Walls, the great Swame Odell blocker, and our special guest Jonny Danger, all here to help you win in week 17. Everybody, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas with your families. Hopefully Santa hooked you all up. Now let's try to hook people up with winning this weekend. Willie, some games I don't really like this weekend. There's a couple of good ones, but a lot of these are low-scoring affairs, if you will.
Agreed. And so if you go to one of those games, I'll just say pass. There's a couple of them that I have no interest in at all. But there's a couple that are very interesting in the 1 o'clock slate that I like a lot. And I like one in the 4 o'clock slate that will be that I like a lot too.
Swame, what do you think? Week 17 becomes much harder because of the injuries, the guys playing. Do we know how much playing time, or do you treat it the same way?
I think we got to treat it the same way, Doc. I mean, we know that there's a couple of guys that's banged up. If they out there, we're going to consider them. If they not, we can't.
And Danger, you got your Sims ready for us to fire away on?
Oh, we're ready to rumble.
All right, let's get to it. Let's figure it out. 1 o'clock games, Tennessee against Jacksonville. Guys, the last time these two teams played, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 10-6, and the game was, in the words of my friend Willie Walls, doo-doo. But I'm thinking this may be a better game this time around. Mason Rudolph is there. Ridley did nothing the last time. Willie, are there any pieces in this game? Okonkwo has been on fire recently. Any guys you like in this game?
Those are two for me. One, Brian Thomas and Chig. They got a little interest in there. And listen, Brian Thomas, the only thing I don't like is I'm looking at a couple of these things have weather and wind. So you got to be a little careful with that. But listen, one thing that the quarterback Rudolph does, and that's what I told. That's why I do like Rudolph. And one thing he does is he feeds Chig. Chig has got 10 targets the last 2 games and has done well. So I think Chig is definitely a man of interest. I'm playing 2 tight ends on the slate. One, Chig, and I got another one that I'm playing from Green Bay. Those are 2 tight ends I'm playing. And that's my player pool. So I do like those 2 players, though. Brian Thomas has been hotter than a firecracker.
Swami, I like Calvin Ridley this week. This is the revenge narrative spot that maybe we didn't get a few weeks ago. Willie likes Chig. Everybody has to like Thomas. Who do you like in this one?
I'll tell you what, Doc. I wasn't a big fan of 10-6. I called the last couple of games, including the game that we had on Thursday. I just said the quarterbacks weren't playing well enough. And here's another one where even though the defenses aren't playing great, the quarterbacks just find a way to really, really, really not get it done. So I see what's going on with Thomas. I think he might be a lock. I'm going to agree with Willie. I wouldn't be mad if Pollard was out. I took a chance actually the last couple of weeks, and I had Mr. Spears. I don't know if the third time would be the charm, but if Pollard's out, obviously I think he would become more than a man of interest. Definitely Chig. We've been on him the last couple of weeks. He's still in a good spot. And I wouldn't be mad if you try to convince me of Bigsby. So even though I like pieces here, Doc, I am concerned about the scoring and the ability for them to break out hearts because they don't get in the end zone.
Danger, what are the Sims talking about this game, and what do you think?
Chig is definitely interesting. I see one of our commenters said, Chig Chalk. I have him still at about 7 or 8%. But I think you got to go with it. Jacksonville's defense has been so epically bad the last month and a half. I think you can just play anybody in there. You can get Ridley in there. I'd love to see Pollard sit, right? And get our man Spears more involved. And my tipsy pick quarterback of the week is Mr. Rudolph. I think he can get it done against a terrible Jacksonville defense.
Oh, this is interesting. Permar gave a thing here. Pollard, 83 yards for incentives. Tennessee doesn't want to pay him. Do you? Sometimes I believe that. Sometimes I don't. Do you think they don't want to pay Tony Pollard for 83 yards?
I don't think Tony Pollard's incentives are going to break the bank. So, if teams would start doing that, and folks would just catch on, and it would really undermine incentive-based contracts even more, because most folks believe to some degree that they're doing that now. I don't think so, and I don't think Pollard's incentives are enough for them to go running and putting him away for the season.
One of my favorite videos, guys, is when Gronk gets his incentive from Brady and Brady makes sure Gronk gets it. I don't know if you've ever seen that one on social media. I love when these guys get their money. All right, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Listen, I'm going to tell you this straight up, okay? It's supposed to rain here. I live a little south of Tampa. It's 75% chance of rain. The rain doesn't bother me. The wind would bother me, but I don't know if we're expecting, a crazy windy day. Willie, I want to like this game. I want to like a lot of pieces of this game. Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Payne Durham. They took Cade Otton is out. Jalen McMillan, Rashad White, Baker Mayfield on the other side. Bryce Young, Chuba's not as questionable, but I think he plays. Adam Thielen. This game could be the game that you had to have. What are you thinking?
I like this game. I mean, I like Bryce Young as a quarterback in this game. Man, last game he had 23 points again, and he had 27 points last week. And what is Tampa? They are a pass funnel defense, and they do a lot of blitzing. So one thing I've noticed about Bryce Young, he's been getting a lot of interesting scramble yards. Tampa's 23 against scramble quarterbacks. So I think he could pick up 25 to 30 yards with his legs. And that helps out, with points there. And listen, he's been playing better. I like Thielen a lot in this game. I think Thielen is interesting, going against him. And the lock button of the day is Bucky Irving. I mean, Bucky is just go, listen, I don't care what percentage he's on. I'm having him 100%. He had 130 yards last time he played those guys, and you could just watch him the way he looked against Dallas. This guy has the juice. And he got 84% of the runs last week. So it's his backfield. But I see about Hubbard, but I don't like him going against Tampa Bay's run defense. So I like I said, very interested. I like Bryce Young. And I think Evans is a man of interest too. Evans is a play too. So I like this game a lot.
Swame, I don't remember, but Evans is pretty close to that 1,000 yards again. Baker wants him to get it. And to Willie's point, Bryce Young had a rushing touchdown the last time these two teams played.
I think Willie might have nailed this one probably, I would say, spot on. I think Bucky is probably my favorite play here. I think, the way that the Tampa was able to move the ball against them last time, Mike Evans obviously was a factor. And I think, even White was decent, even though Bucky had the much better game. And now with Bucky even getting more of the share in the backfield, it's time to hit that lock button on him. As far as, anybody on the other side, I think Thielen is a man of interest. I think he would be the person I would say I would want to come back if I had Bucky and Mike Evans. I think I would want Thielen coming back. I'm not mad if you wanted to go after the quarterback, but he just don't seem like he's going to ever throw for more than 2 touchdowns this season. So I'm going to give him back, but I'll take Thielen for sure. I'm really tempted to say lock Thielen, and I'm going to say almost a lock for Thielen, and I like the other 2 pieces for lock.
I think Bucky and Thielen are locks. And by the way, Permar and I agree. Payne Durham, 2,900. He's the only game in town, and Carolina, wretched against tight ends. Talk to me, Danger. What are the Sims saying?
I mean, Carolina's wretched about everyone. I'm not too worried about the rain or wind. And honestly, if it comes down that way, I think Bucky just is a bigger lock. If it's bad weather, you can chalk White in there. If you want to get a little pivot, he's going to get some good points. I'm thinking, Gibbs Monty style with these 2 this week. Also, Evans, it doesn't matter. Evans will catch the ball no matter what. He needs 91 yards a game, this game and next game, to get to his 1,000 yards. He needs 1 more touchdown to get yet another double-digit touchdown year. It's going to happen. I got to have Evans. I got to have Bucky or White in this lineup. On the other side, Carolina, I got Coker and Thielen as heavy chalk plays and about the same, about 15% owned. And in that case, I don't think I really want the safety down to Coker. I just want the production out of it. And I'm not in on Hubbard at all.
Yeah, I'm out on Hubbard too. All right, Indianapolis against the Giants. I think there's a realistic chance that Joe Flacco is playing here. Right? I mean, Richardson really hasn't been involved in practice this week. Willie, he only completed 7 passes last week. I've seen, Flacco to Josh Downs is a thing. It is a thing, but is it a thing that I want to invest in? Because this game is like 40.5. The Giants are not going to help. So let me ask you this. Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors, are they worth it? Jonathan Taylor, Flacco, Downs, or is this a pass?
I think Downs is interesting, especially with Flacco quarterbacking. But the Giants stink. You know what I mean? They stink, and I think I got some other games I could go with because I don't want to pay that money for Neighbors. I mean, I know these guys are interested, but I don't want to pay that because that quarterback stinks. I mean, Locke stinks. He stinks. And it's just hard for me to get this is a blog game to me. And Flacco lately, even when he played, remember he struggled too. So if you got to remember that. So no thank you on this game right here. So no thank you.
By the way, I want to answer Sam Catania's thing here. Do we play Thielen over AJ Brown with Kenny Pickett in there, Swame?
Hell yeah.
No, you don't play him over AJ. You play him both. You better not. You better not sit your guy because his first look is to AJ Brown. Are you kidding me?
It's a no-brainer, Thielen.
Danger, Thielen or AJ Brown?
You can't, even when he came in and he was okay. Remember, it's two things at play here. It's not just him coming in and not necessarily being a starter. The Cowboys defense is wreaking a little bit of havoc right now. I don't think I would want to take Pickett in that situation.
Yeah, you play your stud. You don't sit your stud down, and AJ Brown is that stud. I think you better get them both in.
When you're in your fantasy championship, don't you play the best player of that week?
Doc, I did that last year. Walls tricked me with that same way, and he wound up winning because he did a little sneaky, little dirty move by telling me some crap like that. You play the best play. Trust me. I've had big names be awful this year, and that's why I'm not at any
don't blame me.
You name the guy, and he's been awful. I mean, I got zeros from guys I would consider studs when I should have set them down and played better plays.
Yeah, but you don't sit down. No, you don't sit AJ Brown down.
If Ertz was playing, no question he plays.
Pickett's first look was to him. I'm telling you, that was his first look.
Danger. Who do the Sims have? Do they have Thielen or AJ Brown?
Pure points, they still have AJ Brown. Pure points. However, man, I just have a gut feeling Dallas's D shows up. I mean, what better thing could they do than eliminate Philly from the possibility of getting a bye week?
No, listen. First of all, the game is not going to mean that much to Philly. I'm just telling you. What it is Barkley. Listen, Dallas has nothing to play for. That's why they're sitting down Lamb. Their defense might go. Lamb is out. They're not playing that guy, so they don't have that incentive in this game.
Lamb couldn't play, and they are still playing hard. Don't believe
it. I don't. But Willie, I'm with you though. But I think that is another reason why maybe Brown's not the guy because if they don't have anything to play for, and Dallas isn't going to be able to keep up with no Lamb. I mean, I just know this game's a total letdown to me.
I agree. Not playing them. I'm just saying in the chat, man. Play them both. Get them both in.
All right, let's get back to Indianapolis. Danger. Anybody in this game? Did you play Jonathan Taylor?
I, of course, play Jonathan Taylor. The guy came to life last week. I like Jonathan Taylor. I like Tyrone Tracy. He pops in the sim as the number one value play in the running backs this week. I've trusted it. That's what I've done all year, and I've had a really nice year.
Swami, can you get behind Tyrone Tracy?
I'm a little bit further back than David. If I'm behind him, I'm way behind him because I like Taylor after what we saw last week, especially if Richardson is out. It might mean he might get the thing. I still think they'll be able to move the ball with Flacco, even if he's not the Flacco of the last couple of years. But I just don't like the game in general, but I do like Taylor.
Yeah, and I don't think that I'm going to play a Flacco play, but I do like Downs now. Was he 4,800? If Flacco plays as a single play,
Downs is a play. Period.
Downs is a play. All right, let's get to another game here. The Raiders against the Saints, the game that everybody's circling on their calendar. Willie, I could give you a couple of guys I would play in this game. I'll give you three. All right, 1. Brock Bowers. 2, Kendra Miller for a little flop lag. He flopped last week. Is he better this week? And 3, can I give a little something to Alexander Madison? Can I look that direction?
Pass. This is a pass.
So no Brock Bowers either.
No, I told you I got 2 tight ends. The Green Bay tight end and Chig. That's it. I'm out.
Wow. So it's a strong pass. All right, Swami, anything.
This is a 6-3 game, Doc, at best. You better stay far away from it.
So if you could watch this game or you could watch Seattle, Chicago, which game would you watch?
Oh, my gosh. Doc, this is going – that's the same game. I don't think – in fact, I think Seattle, Chicago might be a little bit more exciting.
This game might give you chlamydia. Don't even watch it.
Oh, man. Doc, I think this is just like last week. I think Abdullah can get you another, 10 to 14 points. It's okay in his price range. And but I'm out on Miller. I think Mims actually gets a bigger run in that backfield.
All right, I hope nobody plays anybody in this game. Okay, Jets Buffalo 46.5, guys. This game could percolate. Let me give you some ideas here. One, Josh Allen, James Cook looks good. Shakir's done nothing recently, and this could be a game where he gets right back into things. Dalton Kincaid as well. For the Jets, we know there's Rodgers, we know there's Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall. Buffalo gives up tons of receptions and receiving yards to opposing running backs, but will Aaron Rodgers actually hand the ball or throw the ball to Breece Hall? Swami, talk to me about this game.
I think, Doc, I'm very interested in this game. I think Aaron Rodgers, he's going to I think this is his walk-off tour, possibly. And so I think he's going to want to go out, especially in a game like this, maybe slinging the ball around, putting up some big numbers. Ideally, I think that's something that he would want to do. So for that reason, I think Devontae Adams is on the injury report, but I still like him, and I think Garrett Wilson. Coming back is the part that concerns me. Folks talk about MVP. Part of the reason why I'm sitting home, when I talk about those big names, that Walls, that trickeration, it was playing Josh Allen last week instead of playing Caleb Williams, right? I'd still be alive in the playoffs, but he conspired with my uncle. It was some shenanigans there. But anyway, Doc. So, and they're not necessarily getting the receivers involved. Now they got just a muddy mix of guys. Now that Coleman's back in, none of them are really involved. I would probably say Kincaid or James would be the person I would look to put Allen with. I don't think I like any of the receivers the way that they're playing right now. But if this game heats up, then I agree with you. That would mean that Shakur is probably the one I would go with. So, again, give me the Jet side of it. With James Cook, I don't think I want to play it in that way.
Willie, this game has a high point total. Do we want to have it?
First of all, I'm looking at this is one of those orange games where they got heavy rain projected for this game. And therefore, if there's going to be heavy rain in this game, I'm not going to, the only one I got interest in, honestly, is Breece Hall. Because you can run on Buffalo, and also they, like you said about the pass game with Buffalo. So that's the only one I got interest in. I got too many games that I think that it's going to be in decent weather that I don't have to worry about the ball and like this. That's why. And it's not like you're getting a discount on these guys. You're not getting a discount. I damn sure don't want nobody from Buffalo. I want nobody from Buffalo, including Josh Allen. So I think this is, besides Breece Hall, is a pass for me.
Danger, who's popping on Sims?
I hate to say it, but Josh Allen pops like crazy. And I think that when I'm looking at everybody else on here, the only reason why I can imagine that is they think he's going to be a one-man show. And that's a possibility. You could play him solo if you wanted. If the weather's cruddy, do you think that he's going to pull up from a pass and run the ball more? Probably. But I don't think I'm involved in this game at all. If it is, it'll be a little bit of James Cook.
So Permar says Allen needs an MVP game to beat Lamar's numbers. Mm-hmm. And Willie listens to Permar. All right, let's take this next thing here. Dallas, Philadelphia, the game that nobody wants to see right now. The Kenny Pickett, Cooper Rush, Titanic battle. Could you imagine you paid the good money to get your season tickets? But let's talk about the number one play potentially on this slate, Willie. Saquon Barkley. Dude is chasing Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson pretty much said, I don't want him breaking my record. Is he going to break the record, and is he going to run for 150 yards this week?
Well, without Hurts quarterbacking, I'm going to say that, listen, Barkley's just a nice guy. You know what I mean? So if they're winning comfortably, I can see him say, "Hey, coach, I'm good. Let Mr. Gainwell get some of these carries in here." You know, I get it, but Mr. Barkley's got to beat me this week. He's got to beat me. You know, I'm going to play these 6,200, 5,700 these backs that I know is going to get the carry. So that's what I'm going to play there. So and especially, I'm just passing on Barkley. Barkley's got to beat me, and I got to sit down. Unfortunately, I might have to sit down my kicker for Dallas that brought me to the championship in a couple of leagues. And I feel bad about that because there's going to be some win in this game too. So
I circled that on my notebook as remove Aubrey.
Yeah. I told you I dropped Aubrey and picked up Joshua Carty from the Rams. I know the Rams are going to score. Arizona stinks. I love the Rams defense if you're playing tomorrow, Slate. So I'm just throwing that out there because the Cardinals don't have their tackles. They're both injured. Talk to me, Swame. Barkley, yes. AJ Brown, maybe. Oh, just kidding. Who are you playing?
So, Doc, fun fact, Barkley last 3 games against the Cowboys, 51 yards, 66 yards, and 66 yards rushing, respectively. I know a lot of folks don't like to look back at those stats, specifically Jerome Richards, but we will hold that. We won't go into that. However, you can learn a lot from looking back at the stats, and then you can learn a lot from looking at the games, how the games were played. Now, we've seen when teams have guys that could break some of these kind of long-standing records, how that other team comes out and play, even when it's not a good football team or a team that's playing well, like the Cowboys are. They always seem to look like the 85 Bears when somebody's up for a record like this. That's one. 2, Mr. Barkley, I don't think they need this game as much as the record doesn't mean as much to Barkley as it might to fans. He doesn't appear to be the person who's saying, I want this record, really give me this record. He seems indifferent. So I just don't think I would want to take that chance at that price. Again, he's in a good spot. I'm not mad if somebody wants to play it. I don't think I lock it in, though, for those 2 reasons. But, I'm secretly rooting for him. But I want to say this. I don't think he's breaking the record. They got to put an asterisk next to these things. When we go 18, 19, and 20 games, they got to go yards per game or something. But you can't have guys going against 14 and 16 game seasons and guys been playing 17 and 18.
Right. It's not fair. You're right. What Dickerson did was amazing. Yeah. Danger, talk to me about this game. Anything popping?
I mean, Barkley is the Sims like him. Because I think they're going to try to force feed him that ball. But I said just a couple minutes ago, I think Dallas is going to do everything they can to 1, stop that from happening, and 2, if Dallas wins, it basically eliminates Philly from the chance of getting the bye. Now I think that's gone anyways. It's going to be Minnesota or it's going to be the Lions. Which can we talk about? There could be 3 13-win teams in the North.
Pretty crazy.
That's insane.
It's freaking nuts. Anyways, no, I don't like this game at all. I think it's a total bust. I'm out.
Okay. By the way, I told you guys, I know Barkley's family, right? I know Barkley's dad. I know Barkley's grandfather. This is a very humble family. He could care less. Less about these records.
He wasted so many wonderful years in New York. He wants a championship.
That's right. And I don't blame him. All right. New York. Let's get to Miami, Cleveland. I think this is the sneaky game that people might be overlooking. Just throwing it out there, Willie. Why? Cleveland plays man coverage. Cleveland allows explosive plays. I can give you a couple of players on Miami who are still clinging for a playoff spot. Could this be a Tyreek Hill week? Could this be a Devon Chan week? Could this be a Jonny week? I know there's nothing going on for Cleveland, like nothing. Miami's defense makes a lot of sense to me as well. Can you find a little love in this game?
Honestly, I don't have a lot of love in this game. I mean, I get it. A-Chain, you can look at A-Chain in this game because they give up passes to backs. I understand that, and A-Chain gets a lot of balls. And I think with the sustained winds of 15 to 30 miles an hour, I think they're going to have to throw shorter balls. So that's why I'm not going to be interested in Mr. Hill. It's not going to be any deep tosses. It's not like Mr. Tua got a rocket arm, so his arm is out rocket. I mean, I think you could, even though Miami's defense has been stingy since week 6, they have been stingy against that run. They've been one of the best run defenses. So, but I still think Mr. Ford at that price, it's still not a bad get because he can get a lot of balls in the backfield. But that quarterback stinks. And that's the thing about it. That quarterback stinks. That quarterback sucks. So I am not interested in this game because I don't think it's going to be any get back. Now, if Crab Legs was in there, yes, I'll have some interest. But not with that quarterback. He stinks.
Swame, can you get any love for any Miami players? Willie said they're not going to throw the ball, but you throw the ball 15 yards to Tyreek, he'll make you miss, and he can still score.
Willie said it a couple of weeks ago about a Kansas City game. As he's been saying that, I've been pulling up the AccuWeather, looking at the hour by hour for each one of these games, and I'm going to say I think he is probably wrong on all of them. I think that the weather's going to hold and be decent enough to be good football weather in each game.
I'm looking at Rob's thing. It's got yellow-orange. I'm looking at it right now.
And Michael Jackson looking for you. I said I'm looking at the national weather, and you name some guy.
Yeah, listen, I'm looking at the weather too. And
what does Kevin Roth say? I trust Kevin Roth.
That's what I'm looking at. He says Kevin Roth is the one that's got yellow-orange on this thing, and he says sustains winning. He's pretty accurate to me. So I think I look. A lot of people look at Roth.
I
that's
think
what I'm looking at.
The hour by hour forecast from the national folks out there. Hey, as much as I like Roth and all the other intel that we get out here, you can't just poo-poo on a doggone experts because Walls is in love with somebody.
No, listen.
It just doesn't work like that.
Listen, Roth
it does. It works that way.
No, sir. We got experts.
The national forecast is ass. That's why they national. They said they don't care if they get it wrong or not. Roth knows DFS is involved, so he's going to make sure he looks at each and every bit of this thing.
Well, he's not here to defend himself, and he has to go off of data that might be a few days old. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm saying this game looks like it's going to play.
So who are you playing in this game, Swami?
I'm with you. I think Hill might be an interesting play in this game. Only because, and I get it. I think either Danger or Trev said that they weren't as interested in him because he just doesn't look inspired or be playing good football right now. But it's still some interest because it's Tyreek Hill and it's a smaller slate. We don't have a lot of games or a lot of options. So he just presents as a man of interest. I know Danger's going to tell us what the Sims are saying and what the models are coming up with. But Doc, there's something about it that I haven't been able to get off, even though he's been a part of that crew of guys who have made sure this season for me has been very humbling.
I'd rather play the father combination of Grant Hill and Grant Hill and
Calvin Hill.
Calvin Hill than playing that damn Tyreek Hill. Give me those 27 damn yards in the windy game with a candy on. Not only no, but hell no. I ain't playing that bastard. He gotta beat me. Mr. Hill, you 27-yard bastard.
Danger, what are the Sims saying?
Lukewarm on Hill, just how I am. Not terrible, not great, just kind of middle of the road. And
lukewarm and tumble dry.
Yeah.
You know what that means, Swami.
I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in the 5,000s predicted to be better than him. So,
Do the Sims like a Chan?
I love a Chan. And they really, really dislike Waddle, and they've got Waddle at projected 28% owned.
Is Waddle back?
You gotta like Chan, Doc, because he gets it both out of the backfield and ball. So they make sure he gets his share. But even the other games, Doc, I think here you're saying both teams, especially Miami, the Dolphins should have some experience playing in a little bit of rain, and teams like Buffalo and them and Aaron Rodgers, you think they don't know how to play in a little bit of weather? You kidding me?
For sure.
Are you kidding me? That's why we're not saying Walls in the attention. He wants to try to bring Roth with him.
Yeah,
Put smut on his name. This is you.
But Aaron Rodgers, man, he looked old last week. That bastard looked old.
He is old. It's not looking old.
He playing old.
Willie Walls, you want to hear a good Calvin Hill story?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
I know who Calvin Hill is.
So in college, Calvin Hill's wife was on the board of visitors. So she says to me, "What am I doing after college?" I said, "I want to be working with your husband." At the time, Calvin Hill was working with the Baltimore Orioles. She opens up her pocketbook and she hands me his card and she says, "Give him a call." Do you know who does not call Calvin Hill? I know. The dumbest move. If I had to go back over and redo my life, I would have made that phone call.
Wow.
Calvin Hill? True story. Hey. All right. Biggest regret. All right. Let's get to this next one. Green Bay against Minnesota. 48.5. In a dome. In a dome. By the way, can we answer this question for Sam Catania? Do we start Brendan Strange, Will Dissly, or Stone Smart? Anybody? Anyone?
Woo! Anybody else out there?
Yeah, go pick. Yeah, listen to me. Go pick up Payne Durham. Start Payne Durham over any of those jokers.
Pick up Chig. If Chig out there, get Chig, please.
Yeah, Chig. Chig 1, Payne Durham 2. Okay.
If you have to play those guys, just play Strange. But other than that.
Ugh. All right, Green Bay, Minnesota, Willie. Jordan Love, Jaden Reed, Josh Jacobs. On the other side, Darnold. Trevor told us to play TJ Hawkinson. We've got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. This is the game I think that you need to have. How are you playing it?
I think Mr. Reed, even though he's sucked ass, is a lock for me. He's a lock button in this game. For the way they play, you know, what he do in the first game, he had 130 yards. You know, he had 7 catches for 130 yards. He has killed Minnesota. That's the guy who's killed Minnesota because Minnesota, you know, struggle with guys in the slot. So yes, Mr. Reed, I love Mr. Reed. I think Mr. Jefferson is in play. You know, I think Mr. Jefferson is in play. I also think that, and I don't play the running back from Minnesota often, but I think he's in play. I don't like Jacobs. I don't like Jacobs in this game. I'm not going to pay for Jacobs. Jacobs got to beat me. He's got to beat me, even though he's been balling. Jacobs has been balling, and I've been rolling with him all year long. But I don't think this is a Jacob game. I think this is more of a Jordan Love game. I think Jordan Love is a man of interest to me in this game. But I like this game a lot. I think you can play a lot of different players. But my main 3 players, I do like Jefferson, and I love Jaden Reed in this game. Love Jaden Reed in this game.
Swame, Jaden Reed, and Bucky Irving will be on every team I do. If I did 100 lineups, they'd be on all 100. I'm not even kidding around. I also think, so here's some other questions. Willie mentioned Aaron Jones. Is he in play? Christian Watson may or may not even be playing. If he's out, is Dontavion Wicks in play, which Trevor Hillstrom mentioned?
Yes.
What are we doing here, Swami, with this game?
I think I'm going to try to not get too cute. I think I like Tucker Kraft more than those other receivers. I would probably go Reed, Dobbs, Kraft. Again, not mad at Wicks. That's just my personal preference. I'm still not speaking to Jacobs after they decided to, even though I only needed 6 points, 5 to win, that they decided not to give him the ball twice on the one, which they same thing they did to a couple other guys. So I had 6 of those guys not get the ball first and go for the one. And I still can understand why Josh Jacobs wasn't in the game for either one of those, but I digress. So, Doc, I think I want Love, Reed, and maybe Kraft coming back against either Addison or Jefferson or both. That's how much I like this game. I'm not as interested in the running backs. I do have some interest in Hawkinson as well, but I don't think I'm going any deeper than those 3 guys that I named on either team, even though I'm not mad at it.
What about, so Wicks, the last time they played, went 5 catches, 2 touchdowns. Do we love Justin Jefferson? Is he a guy we pay up for, Swami?
I would play up for Justin Jefferson. I think he's got 2 30-point games in the last 3. For some reason, he loves to see the Green Bay Packers as well. They don't seem like they can stop Sam Darnold. So it's like whoever he wants to go to, he's going to be able to go to the game. So as long as he's going to go for probably 330 and 3 or 4 touchdowns, then you got to play these guys.
Danger, you've made a lot of money this year. You've done really great in DFS because you've gone all in on games. Is this a game that you're double stacking?
I have built 5 max $33 tournament. I have built 4 Loves and 1 Darnold lineup. And I am playing 4 to 6 players from this game in every single one of those. And I am heavy on the Green Bay side because #1 projected owned tight end, Hawkinson. #1 quarterback, Darnold, projected owned number 3 running back, Jones. So while I like those guys, I'm going to play a little bit more of the other side and mix those guys in because apparently nobody's playing Green Bay.
We're playing Green Bay. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we're all talking about Green Bay, but the simulated ownership has them way down.
Kraft is one of the 2 tight ends I'm playing. If it's not Chig, it's Kraft. So I mean, I'm not. Listen, I get it. You don't have to tell me. I get it. And I might have a couple of double tight end sets if I run it that way, So listen, I love this game. I think this game is going to, and the thing I like about it is everybody thinks Minnesota got a good defense, but Green Bay, listen, that coach knows how to manipulate this defense, man. So, and even though Green Bay's defense is better, they've been playing better, but they're not playing the Saints this week. Okay.
Danger, you mentioned you have 4 to 6. I get 4. How do you get 6? How are you throwing this in? Give me an idea.
I mean, you put Hawkinson and Kraft in, you put Wicks in, you put Jefferson in,
Reed.
You put Jones in, you put Reed in. I mean, you can get there.
Are you playing my mom too? Is my mom in the lineup?
Is she on the Vikings? I mean, I'm in.
Skull. Okay, let's answer a couple of questions. We're going to do the FanDuel game, but I want to answer some questions. Permar has a question.
Mm-hmm. He's
starting Ridley. Does he play Neighbors or does he play Cup? What do you play, guys?
I gotta go with Neighbors. Listen, Cooper. I will, because one thing that you want is targets. Neighbors get the targets, okay, and then he might get that game. Yeah, you can't listen with Nuka playing on the other side. Not only no, but hell no, I cannot play Cup. Cup got to be.
Who are you playing?
Doc, I got to recuse myself from any Cup conversation, so I'm gonna have to say Neighbors. Cup is a part of that wonderful group that sent me home. And
Danger.
I got Neighbors at about rank number 14. I got Cup at about 30.
Yeah, I'll play Neighbors. I will. All right. Please take Durham. Pick him up. Next. All right. I have another one here. Play me Rudolph, Rodgers, or May if Anthony Richardson can't go, or Flacco. Woo! This is ugly, Swame.
Rudolph is jumping off the board, but I like Rodgers. It's just I just feel like him and Allen could get into something that could become interesting, more so than I just could see Rudolph and them playing in a 13-17 game, and I could see Rodgers and Allen getting into a 27-31 game. So I just think I'm gonna lean towards Rodgers.
Willie, what are you doing?
If Bryce Young was available on the wire, I would pick up Bryce Young and play him over all 3 of those quarterbacks.
Agreed. I would pick Danger. I'm thinking Rodgers. What are you thinking?
I like the Bryce Young call. Otherwise, I got Rodgers at 0.75 more points than Rudolph.
But I will say this: May, I think, is averaging pretty close to 20 over the last 3 games. I know he's got a tough Chargers team. Chargers team.
It's a very tough Clippers team. It is tough.
NBA's on my mind, but I would say he's still a man of interest. I think maybe the scramble. I just don't like him against that pass rush. But
yeah.
And the reason I say that is in the league, the guy picked up that I'm playing in. He picked up the backup. He picked up Flacco, and I'm going with Josh Young. Because I was going to play, and that quarterback who got Richardson would have had 2 touchdowns. He should have had 2 touchdowns. And
so Josh Young, who's that?
That's Bryce Young and Josh Allen and Bryce Young had a baby. Josh Young.
He must play for the Clippers.
Now I like May if May gets in the end zone with his feet. I think these other guys outscore him. But if May ends up, pass rush scrambling for 60 yards, it could be interesting. Stevenson can bite me after last week, Doc.
Follow the point.
Bite me. How many times did they have a shot at the end zone last week with him? 12 times? 12 times they were on the goal line in a row with penalties. If Stevenson scores, I'm in the DraftKings finals for the best ball.
That's true. It's true. All right, let's get to this last game, guys. It's the Sunday night hammer game on FanDuel. It's Atlanta against Washington. Willie, I think this is the other game I think people should be interested in. McLaurin, Drake Young, Bijan, Brian, Daniels. What you got in here? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, listen. So this game has sustained wins. I'm looking at this game right here. This is almost orange too, and I'm looking at this weather game. So if there's no weather, I'll play everybody in this game. But they got Atlanta, Washington, rains likely, winds could be sustained 50 to 20 to 30 to 40 miles. Though I expect to be quite a bit lower by the end of the game. So what I'm saying to you is things could change with weather. So we always got to wait till Sunday to what happen. But if weather's not an issue, I'm all over this game. if weather's not an issue. I mean, you could play you can play the Redskins quarterback. I mean, you could play Scary Terry, but I mean, I'm going to at least have Scary Terry, and I'm at least going to have, I'm going to have that Atlanta running back in every lineup, because he makes sense running the ball against the Redskins as well as catching the ball against the Redskins. I mean,
the Commanders.
Can we do it against the Commanders?
Jeez,
yeah, the Commanders. Excuse me. Listen, I love this game, and this game means everything. And that's why I like it. It means everything for both teams. The Commanders need this game so they can clinch a playoff spot, and Atlanta wants to stay ahead of Tampa Bay. So this game means everything. And I'm going to tell you something. That the quarterback for Atlanta is not bad. He's not bad. He's not a bad quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback at all. So, but I love this game. Like I said, this game, I will have at least 3 pieces in it. I'm looking to have at least 3 pieces in this game on FanDuel. So I'm going to have some 3 pieces in this game.
Swame, on FanDuel, it feels like London and McLaurin and Bijan maybe borderline locks.
Doc, I don't know. I think it's just Robinson for me. I know that you guys are seeing, for some reason, the film I watched on Penix has a glitch in it. It's different. The one I saw was a quarterback who threw 27 times and completed a bunch of checkdowns and short throws, the Mooney and a pick that wasn't his fault, but it was average at best. I just didn't see the same film that all just saw.
Yeah, you talking about what Pitts? Pitts, I think it was point shaving. He just threw that ball to the guy.
The defense of Atlanta put the game away, or it might have been a totally different game. He did very little. The defense did a lot more than what he did as far as that game was concerned.
I'm not saying I'm not playing receivers for Atlanta. I don't want no receivers for Atlanta. The one I want Robinson. Robinson will be in every lineup.
You want Drake London, Willie. Washington is terrible against number 1 wide receivers. Not good.
I'm saying I will play Mooney over Drake London for some reason. I
think I would too. And Doc, I don't see it. He's not.
Listen, when you're a rookie quarterback, don't you focus on one guy?
No, he played. I saw Mooney.
He played the Giants. Giants stink.
Against the stinky Giants, he had 202 yards and a pick. That's it.
Yeah. Listen, man, I didn't like him last week.
No,
I was on
thank you.
record saying I was way out in left field. Trevor tried to talk you into it. I said, you're crazy. You're losing money. And that was against the Giants. I'm out this week. I like Terry and Daniels quite a bit, honestly. I like them both, and I like Bijan. I like those 3 plays. That's it. That's all I got for this week.
All right. Let's get to the the cheap bastard play of the week, Willie. Who is the cheap fat bastard play of the week?
And he got plenty, I'm sure.
I tell you what. I mean, so my cheap bastard is going to be Chig and Kraft. They're my cheap bastards. Okay. Now my balls to the wall call.
Wait. Just go easy. Let's go through the cheap bastard first. Don't rush it.
Okay.
Swame, you're cheap bastard.
It's Walls, as always, because he can't seem to make a distinction between chalk plays and a cheap bastard again. We got to redefine everything for this guy every doggone week. It is unbelievable. Doc, so if I feel like that cheap bastard this week, I don't want to say this guy, Coker. I know that y'all have fallen in love with him, and I don't know what it is. But if we get Flacco, Doc, I'm interested in Pittman at 4,700 being that cheap bastard.
Okay. Danger, who's your cheap bastard play?
Man, you want it that cheap? Like 4,000?
Whoever you want, cheap play, cheap bastard.
Y'all be a cheap bastard.
Oof, the cheap bastards. I think I was all over Boutte last week and played off well. I think it goes the other side of that field, and it's Bourne this week.
They ain't on the slate.
Yeah, they are.
No, that's Saturday slate. Danger.
That's Saturday. Oh, sorry.
Give me a Sunday one, Danger.
Sunday one. I still think your running back at 5,800 can't be beaten, Tyrone Tracy.
All right, that's a good cheap bastard play. All right, my cheap bastard play is Bring the Pain Durham in honor of Heat O'Brien. All right, Willie Walls, talk to me here about your stack, not the balls to walls call from Willie Walls. Just give me the stack you're playing.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this. I'll be playing this stack. Give me Mr. Young. Give me the quarterback for Carolina. I run it back with I'll run it with Thielen, and then I'll bring it back with my lock. Those are my two locks of the week: Thielen and Mr. Irvin.
Like it, Swame. What are you doing?
I'm gonna give you one chalky, terrible Willie Walls type of stack, which would include obviously Love, Reed, Kraft, and Jefferson. And because we're professionals here, Doc, I'm gonna give you one more because that's what we do here on the show. And I'm gonna go with, again, I think Allen, James Cook, and I want to come back with Devontae Adams.
Interesting. Danger, who's your stack?
All I'm doing is 4 or 5 players from Green Bay and Minnesota, and I'm gonna mix them all in. But if I had to pick one, it's Love, Aaron Jones, Reed, Hockenson, and Wicks. Play all 5.
I'm on Danger stack 1,000% on that stack. And I'm going to play it even if Christian Watson's supposedly playing because that dude gets hurt going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. All right. Balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. What is it?
It's going to be a combination, and this is not going to be highly owned. First of all, Mr. Reed is not highly owned. He's not chalk. Mr. Reed is not chalk at all. He's not chalk. As a matter of fact, I could make a case that Mr. Reed has been ass. If you really want to look at it, if you look at what he's been doing, he has been cheeks of the ass and ass of the cheeks. He has been. So I do like Mr. Reed, but this one was going to make it unchalky because I like Mr. Love, and Mr. Love is not going to be owned either. So I like Love throwing to Mr. Jaden Reed as my hookup call. That's my balls to the walls call. Those two guys, because Reed is not highly owned, and neither is Love. Love is going to be 3%, 4%.
Willie loves love, Swami. Who do you love?
I'm going with Jerry Rice, Doc. We just not picking random chalky.
That's not chalky. Green Bay is not chalky.
Oh no.
Jaden Reed, he's not chalky.
I'm looking at Reed at 3.25%.
Swami, give me the Swami says
3.25%. Is that chalk? Hell no, sir. Now, hey, what is Jordan? What is Love? What's his percentage?
Jordan Love is 7%.
I got 2.1. You're probably closer than that.
Okay, so a total of 10%. So that's not balls. Come on, man. Get on out of here, man.
Doc, I think he's confused ownership, which is a product of price and ability to build a lineup, with somebody being chalky, meaning a play that everybody could see, to include my grandmother. So I think he's confused it there. But anyway, so Doc, I'm going to go with, I feel like Calvin Ridley's too easy.
I like that one. That was right on my list there.
I feel like he could be too easy though, Doc. And I feel like I can give you something a little bit sneakier than Calvin. I mean,
hurry up,
this week. So I'm gonna go
Willie's got to go. He's got to be security.
I'm gonna go with
Say it! Say it! Say it! Oh my God! Please help me, Lord! Help me, Lord!
Doc, I'm gonna go with my man Tyreek Hill.
Oh, that's my man.
Hey, Doc.
Y'all losing money. You both are losing money this week.
Great minds think alike, Doc.
All right, you can have it. All right, Danger, who's your dude?
How about Rashad White scores 20?
Oh,
that's different.
All right, that's an interesting one. I love Jaden Reed is my guy. Tyreek Hill is my guy. You're all naming my guys. I don't even have any guys. You took all my guys. All right, you know what? In honor of my man Trevor Hillstrom, I will tell you that I'm going to figure out how to double tight end because I really want to play TJ Hawkinson because I think TJ Hawkinson scores this week. I think he finds the end zone. And I think Payne Durham is my cheap bastard play of the week. All right. There you have it. All right, appreciate you guys listening. Remember, tomorrow morning, SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio from 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern. Then on Sunday, come to our Discord, drroto.com. We'll answer all of your questions and try to get you to a fantasy championship. All right, for Doc, Willie, Swame, and Danger, what do we say? Be well and
Take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.